This gentleman was a semifinalist on Last Comic Standing. He's also been on The Late Late Show. Give him a warm Laugh Factory welcome. Here he is, Brian McKim. Let him hear it!
Thank you very much.
Hi.
Hey, everybody excited to be in Las Vegas? Say yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm excited to be in Las Vegas, and I live here. Yeah, I moved here 6 years ago. People back east say, ooh, you live in Las Vegas now. Do you gamble a lot more? I say, no, but I gamble in different ways. For instance, I now buy meat at the dollar store. You see some strange things at the dollar store. I was there the other day, I bought a Yankee candle. Brought it home, lit it, smelled like Reggie Jackson. Also saw doggy ice cream for dogs. This is a dumb idea. I had nothing to do with it. Tastes terrible, by the way. Ice cream for dogs. They already have ice cream for dogs. It's called ice cream. It's good enough for me. It's good enough for the dog. It's not like he's got a waistline to worry about. He's not even wearing pants. At least not as often as I'd like him to. You know, there's a chain of dollar stores called Dollar General. Yeah. Which also sounds like a really bad hospital. Do not get the transplant at Dollar General. You get a CAT scan there, they use a real cat. There was a dollar store near my house called Everything's a Dollar. Yeah, so one day I walked in, put $1 down on the counter, backed the truck up to the front, loaded everything in. Went back in and said, you should have called it each thing's $1. I paid attention in English class. I am now the proud owner of a truckload of crap from China. Got it on a technicality, I did. Anyway, here we are, Las Vegas, now home to the world's tallest Ferris wheel. Anybody do the Ferris wheel? Say yeah. Not one person did the Ferris wheel? They don't call it a Ferris wheel, no, they call it an observation wheel. Who named this observation wheel? That's not fun. That's not Vegas. Observation wheel sounds more like something you avoid at the doctor. Remove your pants and have a seat on the observation wheel. No! 55 stories tall. Just what you want in the middle of the Nevada desert. You want to be 550 feet closer to the sun. 30 minutes for one complete rotation. They call it the high roller. I like to call it the rotisserie. What's that smell? Barbecue sauce. Get it. I was at a place where people were drinking martinis, or so they claimed. These drinks they were drinking had plenty of exotic ingredients, things like chocolate liqueur and coconut juice, and funny little names like chocolatini and coconutini. This is an abomination. Where I come from, a martini is a martini. It's got 3 ingredients, gin, vermouth, olive, but that's it. But I figure, why fight it? I'll come up with my own idea for a new martini. You know that juice in the bottom of the hot dog pack? Stay with me. I'm thinking of calling it a Marweenie. Or maybe a weenie teeny. But there's not a man or a woman among you who would ask for a teeny weenie. Think about that, it would kill ladies' night. Yes, I'd like a teeny weenie. Underman. What? You see this a lot walking around the casinos. You see a gorgeous girl accompanied by her 2 somewhat less gorgeous girlfriends. I like to call that change for a 20. It's a 10 and 2 5s. And if it's a wedding party, it's a 10 and 5 and 5 1s. I promised my sister-in-law. People ask me, are you a glass half full or a glass half empty kind of guy? I think in order to be a stand-up comic, you got to be a little bit of both. I'll give you an example. Had dinner at a Chinese restaurant. After the meal, they gave me a fortune cookie. I cracked it open. The fortune inside said, "You will be reunited with an old friend." I said, well, that's nice. I hope he's alive. People ask me strange questions after the show. One of my favorites is, so, do you have to travel? Well, I haven't figured out a way to get the crowds to come to my house. So until I do, there will be traveling involved. So I spend a lot of time. Airports, airplanes, rental cars, restaurants. Hotels. I like hotels. Not everybody does like hotels. I like hotels. You got to be careful, though. Not all hotels are created equal. Give an example. Checked into a hotel in a kind of a dicey neighborhood in Detroit. I knew things were bad when I checked in. The guy behind the desk told me I get free 911 calls. The neighborhood watch had bleachers. When I was there, Detroit was the murder capital of the United States of America. It no longer is the murder capital of the United States of America, mainly because there's just not enough people left there to murder. It's a slippery title. Driving down the road in Georgia, southern Georgia, saw a billboard for a small hotel. It said, "We treat you like family." So I checked in. Sure enough, next morning, 8 o'clock, somebody's banging on my door saying, "We talked it over. We think it's time you got a place of your own." I was out of there as soon as I was done cutting the grass. Checked into a small hotel in Alabama. The guy behind the desk clerk, took one look at me and he actually said, I thought he was kidding, he said, "You ain't from around here, are you, boy?" I said, "No, that's why I need a hotel room." Traveling as I do, I have to take certain precautions. I think you know what I'm talking about. That's right, I got the flu shot. Let me tell you, I highly recommend the flu shot. I love the flu shot. The flu shot has changed my life. I am licking handrails. I am kissing strange babies. I am sucking on elevator buttons. It is awesome. What floor was that? 5? I'll get it for you. It's okay. I got the flu shot. Yet I still managed to get a sinus infection. How's that work? So I was taking antibiotics. I was taking Avalox. Avalox, scary. Ooh, sounds a little futuristic. Avalox. Sounds like something they give you on Star Trek. Then I got to look at the info sheet they give you at the pharmacy. Turns out the generic name for Avalox is moxifloxacin. Not so scary now, is it? No. All these drugs have 2 names. Have you noticed this? They got the Star Trek name, they got the Dr. Seuss name. I finally found my Roboxacin. It was in the same drawer that my socks was in. I do not like green eggs and ham. I will not take diazepam. It says right here on the back of the box, it interacts with Avalox. So I was at the drugstore, the pharmacy, the CVS. I was in kind of a long line. I started to get a little annoyed. Normally, I'm a patient, even-tempered person, but there was only one register going. Eventually, a second employee, an old lady, she hops behind the counter. She fires up register 2. She looks right at me and she says, "I can take you." I dropped her with one punch. She never had a chance. She went down hard, let me tell you. Somebody had to teach her that such overconfidence was unbecoming in a woman her age. And I'm just the man to do it. I got a flat tire last week. I did what anybody with a flat tire would do, right? I took my car to the tire store where I encountered the tire store dude. I figured this is going to be a pretty straightforward transaction, right? I have a flat tire. This is a tire store. He is the tire store dude. No, doesn't work that way. I limp in there. What does he do? He grabs a clipboard. He brushes past me, goes out in the parking lot, walks around my car 3 or 4 times with this awful look on his face, comes back into the showroom, starts to give me a lecture. "Sir, are you aware that tire's the wrong size?" "Right now, I'm more concerned it's the wrong shape." I don't recall coming in here and saying I had a small tire. No. I said I had a flat tire. That's what I said. Let me put this in terms you can understand, Dr. Firestone. The tire in question used to be shaped like an O. It is now shaped more like a D. Make it round once again, Professor Goodyear, I'll be out of your face. I need round tires, that's how I roll. Went to the Timberland outlet with my wife, we bought a pair of boots. Brought them up to the counter, gave the guy behind the counter my credit card, she fires up the register. She looks right at me and she says, I'm gonna need your phone number. I said, hello, this is my wife, she can hear you. Beware the hussies at Timberland. They're very forward. They care not a whit for the institution of marriage. I don't do well in retail situations, as you may have figured out. I try to confuse people. That doesn't go over well. I was at a restaurant the other day. The waitress, young lady, going over the specials of the day, rattling off the specials of the day. I interrupted her. I said, excuse me, that tilapia, was that raised cruelty-free? Why, yes, it was, sir. I don't want it. I like my fish terrified. Miserable. Tastes better that way. Last spring, the end of the spring, I went to Kohl's, doing a little shopping. I bought 7 shirts, all at once, the same shirt, 7 shirts, brought them up the counter. Lady behind the counter looked and says, oh, looks like somebody's ready for summer. I said, yeah, if it's a week long and I'm not wearing any pants. The internet, everybody here have the internet, say yeah. Yeah. You gotta ask. You cannot assume everyone has access to it. There are people in this country who do not have access to the internet. They do exist. I have spoken to them. Both of them. They live in Alabama, I believe. I used to get, people are getting crazy. I mean, it's driving people nutty. The internet is driving people insane. It used to drive me nutty, but then I changed. I evolved. I calmed down. I used to get into arguments. I used to get into fights. I used to get angry with people. Now I just try to confuse them. Just like I do in retail situations. I like to go on to Craigslist. I was on Craigslist. I was on the barter section of Craigslist the other day. That's where they trade things. Some guy types in there, I have a large bird cage. What do you have? I typed in, a large bird. Hey, that's not how this works. And Twitter, I'm following some strange people on Twitter, let me tell you. I was following Sir Paul McCartney. Yeah. The other day he tweeted, if slaughterhouses had glass walls, no one would eat meat. So I tweeted back at him, if my neighbors had glass walls, no one would have sex. I got blocked by a beetle. I'm proud of that. And these people on Facebook with their status updates and their, my relationship, it's complicated. Get out of here with complicated. I'll show you complicated. I got a twin stepbrother. What? If I get people to stop typing for 5 seconds, I win. But you find out fascinating things on the internet. Just today, I found out that Goliath of David and Goliath fame had a brother. Yeah, I believe his name was Phil. But that's not the weird part. Goliath's brother had 6 fingers on each hand. Yeah, they call that polydactyly. Yes. I'll tell you what, if I had 6 fingers on each hand, you know what I'd do? I'd become a paramedic. That way I'd zoom to the scene of an accident, find the nearest possible concussion victim and say, how many fingers am I holding up? Who yelled out 6? That's not how this works.
Find your entertainment and services the easy way with entertainers worldwide.